Hey guys, what I have here in this bag is the sculpture I did of the alligator versus the python. Since I made the mold, I wanted to show you what it looks like because it is pretty broken up. But I was thinking that, it doesn't need that much, so I figure I might fix this up. There's some issues with it. This became kind of weird. Of course, this has fallen off. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to take these pieces and I'm going to see if I can glue them back together. Basically, I put clay in here, and I put like water-based clay, of course, and it's a very wet compound. And what I'm going to be doing, in order to put this all back together, I need to get this like really nice and wet. Get this so freaking wet that it's going to basically adhere. But also, one of the things you need to do is make a few cuts. Lower jaw, and I'm just doing kind of like cross hatches. And I think the reason I'm doing this is to get it nice and wet. But once I put it in there, the lower part, which is here somewhere. This one? Yeah. So this is going to be the lower jaw. So we need to make sure that this is scored too. The last sculpture that I did with water-based clay didn't take too well when I removed it. So hopefully this one will take a little bit more. And because I got plaster all over this, plaster is not clay's best friend. So it could be that it could crack, it could explode in the kiln. And yeah, I am thinking about putting it in the kiln. So here is the top jaw. It's kind of a shame that when you do these castings, the detail gets lost, and the original, I guess it's to be expected, is so much better. I almost like don't want to do any more mold making just because the detail is often lost. And I can usually make a copy of this fairly well. So I'm taking my clay here, my slurry, just putting it on, and now I am just going to push this in. And the clay is pretty hard. And I'm trying to clean up, get rid of a lot of the issues that we've had. Now let's try and get the head. So the head of the snake, I don't know if you guys can tell, it is broken in the front, but I think I'm going to be able to sculpt it. So let's go ahead and score this up. Do some cross hatching here. Basically, if you do this on both sides like this, and you get it really wet, we have to keep this wet before it's going to be extremely wet. It has to be. And this is one way to repair a terracotta sculpture. I'm sure there's other ways, but I'm going to do it this way. So now here's the snake head, and it's not exactly fitting in perfectly. So one of the problems, I guess, is that maybe a little bit of the snake has been completely dyed off. I'm doing a little bit better. So there's a major hole here. You cannot leave a hole at all. And this is kind of like a deep hole. So you're going to have to put in a lot of clay in here just to kind of push it down. Base here you see it's been like cracking. So I'm just gonna kind of do this. Just push it down. Surprisingly, this clay is still wet after weeks and weeks of being covered by latex. And there's like all of these cracks here and here. And I'm just going to wet this. Take the clay version, or I have the plaster version of the snake and everything, so I could make, and this is the upper part, so I could make a cast of this, of the head of the snake, and put it here in clay, so it could work that way. But I think what I'm going to do is I am going to cover this up really well, make sure that this is extremely wet. So basically I'm going to be, and all of these, the plaster bits, they are not your friend. You don't want to mix with the clay. Just kind of push it all out. And tomorrow it's going to be wet enough that I can sculpt the head again, and I'll just make another head out of the python, and I'll put it in the kiln, and I'll see if this thing could be salvageable. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.